Do you want Mylar bags that look like this, that are sucked down like a brick, or are you just happy with the cheap stuff that you're using and making mistakes on it? Stick with me. We're going to show you the top 7 mistakes that people make when storing food in Mylar bags, and I'm going to show you how to get brick bags like this. Stick around. Guys, I've got 7 tips and a bonus tip for you today about storing your food in Mylar bags. First tip that I see a lot of people mistake is an incomplete seal. If you don't have a good enough seal on your Mylar bags, oxygen and moisture are going to get in there and ruin the food that you worked hard to put up. Best thing to do, make sure that you're sealing your food. I use an impulse sealer from Harvest Right that does an awesome job. I usually double and triple seal on there and do it. You can also use a hair straightener on your bigger 5-gallon bags because the impulse sealer will not fit a 5-gallon bag. Use a hair straightener or use an iron with a flat, like a 2x4 on there. Stay with me, we got a lot more tips. Second mistake I see a lot of people make is using damaged bags. Look over your bags real good. Store your bags where they're almost flat and they're not getting crinkled up and stuff like that. Mylar is tough, but it's only so tough. Just watch out for damaged bags that have rips, tears, little small pinholes, anything like that in there. That's going to cause the same thing as an incomplete seal. It's going to let moisture and air get in there onto your food that you've been working hard to store up. If your bags are not bricking down, like the bag that I showed you just a minute ago, another reason for that could be you're using the wrong size oxygen absorbers. There's lots of charts online. I did a video that named out kind of the size oxygen absorbers you need for each bag. But if they're not bricking down, look at what size oxygen absorber you're using for that particular bag. Also, another problem you could have is old oxygen absorbers that have already done their job. They're out of date, something like that. So check your oxygen absorbers, make sure they're good before you use them. Tip number 4 on mistakes in Mylar bag storage is not filling your bag up enough or overfilling the bag. There's a good medium in there of where you want to fill the bag at. If you fill the bag up too much, you're not going to have any headspace and you're not going to have enough room to actually get a good seal on your bag. If you don't fill your bag up enough, you're going to have a lot more oxygen in there, so the oxygen absorber that you use is not going to be the proper size. So it's kind of a fine line. You can see I filled this bag up to about right there. I still had enough room to get my my Ziploc top on there and get a good seal on this bag. Tip number 5 on mistakes in storing in Mylar bags is labeling. Make sure that you label all your bags correctly. I label mine with what food is in there and the date that I stored everything and put it in the bag. Just think about it. Grid down situation, you're actually having to eat out of your food stores and you just got a bunch of Mylar bags and you have no idea what's in those things, when it was done, anything like that. The best thing to do, as soon as I get done putting my food in the bags, putting the O2 absorbers in and sealing the bags before they get bricked down, I take a Sharpie marker and you can see chili done a year ago. This is freeze-dried chili I did on my own with my freeze dryer, but I labeled it chili February of 2023. Just make sure you label everything, guys. Mistake number 6 that I see a lot of people make is storing your Mylar bags with the food in there in inappropriate conditions. What you want to do, try to limit the amount of variation in temperature that your long-term food storage is stored, and you want to keep it out of sunlight. That just hurts to degrade the bags, and keep it in as dry as an environment as you can. The bags are light, moisture, and air resistant, but it doesn't mean that it's just a free-for-all with that. My personal opinion on food storage, you want to keep it somewhere between 65 and 40 degrees for your food storage. That's going to give you the longest shelf life on your food. Tip number 7 that I've got for you is be aware of who you're buying your Mylar bags from. Yes, you can go on Amazon and save a nickel on a thing of bags, but do you really know where these bags are coming from? Buy from a reputable source. All my bags come from Discount Mylar Bags. They're a small company in Tennessee. I know the guy that owns it. Never had a problem with any of his bags, oxygen absorbers, or anything that I've bought from Toby. But be careful. You're making an investment in your future and your family's future, and you're going to try to save a nickel or a dollar on a bunch of bags. Do you really think it's worth it that you're spending that much money on food, and then you're like, oh, I'm going to skimp on the bag and the O2 absorbers, and then in a time of crisis you open it up and you realize, hey, the bag's trash, the oxygen absorber didn't work, all my food is ruined. That dollar that you saved on there doesn't look near as good when you're starving and don't have any food left. Also, the meal thicknesses on your bags. I buy the heaviest meals that I can get. That's usually a 7 to a 7.5 meal bag. That's what all these are. That's a 7.5 meal bag thickness. The thicker you go, the stronger they are, and you don't have to worry if you've got any foods that have anything sharp on them, like a pasta. They're not as apt to bust through the bag. We've also got a bonus tip for you. All right, bonus tip on mistakes with Mylar. I see a lot of people, first off, if you're going to do 5-gallon bucket sizes, take your 5-gallon bucket, put your 5-gallon Mylar bag in, and then fill the thing while the bag is in the bucket. That's what most people wind up doing when they're doing 5-gallon size bags. But also, if you're going to do like the 2-quart bags, like what I've got right here, the 2-quart bags, I store those in like Rubbermaid plastic containers. You don't want to move your Mylar around all the time because yes, it is tough, but it's also fragile. So the less you've got to move the bags around, the better off you are, or without touching them. Get some Rubbermaid totes, put your Mylar bags in there, put the top on the tote. Those totes will stack nicely. Also, if you're storing up a whole lot of food, I've got some 55-gallon drums that we've dropped like our 2-quart bags in, and then just fill the 55-gallon drums up that way. Put the lock and lid on it, and you're safe and ready to go. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, click right here for my other video on Mylar bags. Check it out. It's got a lot of good information. Y'all have a good one.